Hello and welcome to another episode of Finding a Toria. This is Malcolm. I am in a full studio today, probably not getting the intro right. We haven't been here for a while. Like, not to tip our hand, but we do Batch-tastic whenever we can, and it's been a hot second since we've all gotten together. Let's go around and check in on everybody. To my immediate right is Arcadia.
Hello.
What's new with you? How are you?
Not a lot is new, and I am doing well.
Wonderful.
Summer has started. It's good.
Yeah, check local listings, but it's getting there. Mm-hmm. Carrots are growing. Bird, how we doing?
Good.
Yeah.
We like. I got a new job in between. I think
Life events.
Yeah. I got a new job.
Fantastic. Better for the brainio.
Oh yeah.
Good
Much better.
Stuff. Good stuff. The gummy bears have made a return, and so has our friend
I'm not
Jess.
chewing in the mic.
I was noticing your well sorted patterns of beardom there. Mm-hmm. So yes, Jess, welcome back.
Thank you.
I think that the last time that you were in studio, we had severe weather warning, and you made the very intelligent decision to head for higher ground. Yes.
Yes, that is correct. There was, at the very least, severe winds, if not actual tornadoes incoming. Let me go home.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a storm season so far, hasn't it? Yeah. Check local listings again, but glad to have everybody here. We are going to lean into a fun-filled episode today and touch on a few probably interlocking ideas. If I have been remiss in promoting anything, I'll do it right before or right after we get back from break.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've got two table mates here with D20s in their hands and looks in their eyes. Like, it's serious. Now, we would like to have an initiative roll to see who will go first with their topic today on Finding a Toria.
Bonuses?
Books. I've got to give a +1 to books.
Only a +1? I mean, really?
Yes. After that, only a +1. And I think we're going to roll clean for inspiration today. I think that's one of those difficult ones to get a bonus in. So +1 to books, and let's roll initiative.
17.
10.
+1 doesn't get it there. You have initiative. You have inspiration.
It's my turn.
Bird's going to go first. Ladies and gentlemen, tell us about your topic today, because this one,
It's a fun one, though.
Yeah.
Because everybody has it.
It's big, but the question's rarely answered.
Right. What inspired you to play? What inspired your characters? What are they based on? Because everybody has an idea.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. How about Idri?
Idri is Kitiara.
There it is.
But here's the interesting part. As an adult, not having touched Idri since high school,
Jerville finds that joke hilarious.
I hadn't played her in so long that I didn't really recognize that anymore. Mm-hmm. And I went back to some Dragonlance books, and I started reading, and I was reading Kitiara, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
There
like,
it is.
Everything. It was just like, you can just see it so clearly that was where she came from, she's one of my favorite characters and was sort of one of the first characters I got to know in the world of Dragonlance.
So, question for you. You've played that character for over 30 years now. How do you still feel Idri links back to your earliest inspiration for Kitiara? There's been so much growth in the character, so much story, but...
Very different outcomes.
Yeah.
I would say Idri surface is Kitiara. Her description, her affinity for colors, her, fighting style, a lot of that is definitely Kitiara. But her character, and not by as in the person we play, but like as in who she is at her core, is very different than Kitiara.
Very cool. Very cool.
Ellen. What's Ellen based off of? I wanted to hear this too.
Okay, so Ellen had already kind of undergone a bit of an evolution from the original inspiration.
Okay, but what was that?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay, of course.
More specifically, Elrond, actually.
Nice.
There it is. I knew it had to be something like that.
Yeah. So whatever the inspiration, I tend to always make my characters female like me. Just my own personal preference. But back in 2004, when World of Warcraft was launched, I started playing, and my very first character was... at that point in time, I had to choose between being a mage and being an elf. There wasn't an option to be an elf mage.
Right.
So
weird.
All right. Well, the magic is more important to me, so I'm gonna do wizard.
Did I just hear that Jess played a character that wasn't an elf?
I know, right? But the second it became an option.
Did they relegate you to human only for mage when it first came out?
Well, no. I mean, I could have played a troll.
Oh, yes. Imagine how different Ellen would have turned out.
I want to see Ellen as a troll. That would be awesome.
I have since re-rolled the character on World of Warcraft as a void elf. But like, I guess the inspiration was kind of like, I liked the elves in Lord of the Rings, and the appearance was kind of based on because Elrond and family all kind of had dark hair as opposed to, say, Legolas and family who all had super blonde hair. So my vision for Ellen in the beginning was, all right, we're gonna go dark haired with this, and yeah, she wasn't an elf originally because that wasn't an option at the time. And all of I think if I wanted to play Alliance instead of Horde, well, there were no elves on the Horde side at that point anyway. There are now, but that's getting into World of Warcraft lore. That's not what we're talking about today. So it kind of like,
but it is kind of, because that's your inspiration.
It doesn't matter if it's not D&D.
That experience that's translated over to that character is what I'm hearing, I guess.
Yeah. So it was basically like, all right, so we've got these mystical elves, they're wise and all of these things, but then they also have like, they're not slinging fireball around, but they do have some amount of command of magic in some way. Like Galadriel clearly uses some kind of magic, and then there's the power of my father can heal this and stuff like that. So it's like there is some amount of magic involved, and I've always liked just magic. So at the time, there may also have been kind of a mage is the closest to Harry Potter style wizard that I'm going to get in World of Warcraft. So it's kind of those two things. I always liked the elves because of Lord of the Rings, and then I always liked the magic because of Harry Potter. It was not an option at that time to combine those two things until later it became an option, and then as soon as I could do that, I did that.
And that really fed into what Ellen became as a D&D character, almost plucked from the world once you were able to make her...
Oh, yeah. Once I had that void elf mage that was combining, like, all right, we've got Harry Potter-style magic here, but then it's a elf.
Yes, and two huge fandoms pouring into those. That's fantastic. Yep. That is good stuff.
And then, so she'd already undergone like all of the adventures in World of Warcraft, and it wasn't like just one inspiration anyway. And so by the time I was creating Ellen, my D&D character, we were talking like 20 years removed.
So you knew Ellen very well when you rolled Ellen up. That was not a new character.
She's your baby.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a baby,
and there were some things that were based on how I was forced to roll her, there were some things that got a little changed from what I would have chosen. Thank you, Arcadia. She made me roll for personality traits.
Oh, get it.
Like the
Yes, sorry, Jess. That may have been one of the better timed ones.
That's beautiful.
she made me roll for like the bonds and
Sure.
instead of picking which ones I thought I wanted best for my character. So it did kind of change things like that, and it actually, as much as I was not happy about that at the time because I had a pre-existing character I was trying to port into D&D,
What a very good way to put that.
Yeah.
it ended up being better for it. So
Character has more depth.
It has given rise to really good story.
Right.
Yes.
For
A
Ellen.
really good setting, like a really
and
good part
there's a
of the
whole
story.
character that came out of it too.
Right.
Arcadia's character
Yeah.
came out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, very neat. I'm only looking at you because I don't know if I'm going last or you're going last.
I can go last.
You want?
I can go
last.
now. Like, it doesn't matter.
I will pull a 20-sided die out of my ear.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Except for mine's only got 12 on it. Hold on. Here we go.
19.
Is that a nat one or?
That's a 7.
Oh,
that is all. I want all 7 of those. Okay.
What would
Sorry, it's
happen
across
if
the
it
table.
wasn't that one? What would happen?
Oh,
I'd
we have
have
to
to
make some
finish the
decisions
episode under
around
the
that.
table. Sit down. No, down. You want to go or do you not want to go?
You go.
Okay, so I actually had to think about this a little bit while you guys were talking because I have always thought it was something and then it's probably not. And it's a combination of things for me. My childhood cartoon hero was He-Man.
Oh, heck yeah.
There it
He-Man and the
is.
Masters
Yeah, I
of the
can
Universe
totally see that.
were my action figure collection. That was the world that I played in as a kid, and they just gave you Saturday morning cartoons after great ideas. After
Now I want a He-Man.
Right?
and it was don't get me started. All the lessons you can learn from a couple seasons of He-Man in this lifetime, but
Until next time. I have a live, laugh, love Skeletor pin.
Yes.
and that's the thing is like back then we didn't know how precious of a resource Skeletor quotes were going to be. Or like they're just like, great villain, no face, okay, really cool. Now it's just like the wisdom of the land comes from. But and then the other thing that I saw was the 1981, and it was a poignant film for me for a lot of reasons, but Excalibur. And I saw knights in full plate mail battling with swords. I saw what it took to like carry that plate mail and go into battle and just how exhausted these guys and it was my first look at Camelot, and it was my first look at what a knight was as it was represented then, and I thought, well, fuck,
I want to do that.
can we get He-Man and some plate mail?
Yeah.
And then later,
Not just a loincloth.
we were evolving. Later on, and it was probably my first interaction, I'll maybe let you guys guess from the books that we read, but kind of the dumb hulking guy that was good with a sword that was traveling around. Wolfgar, yeah, but also Cameron?
Yeah.
Who was he? He was just big and strong and not too freaking. You weren't going to go to him for the plan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. He did his job and he did it well.
Yeah.
And so when I was given space to like have that character all mashed up, and the fudge of the rolls and things that like first level Dreville was allowed to survive, like that dude should have been dead if I had been DMing over and over again, but it was a positive experience.
I got a look on that if I had been DMing.
No, I was worse, but that was kind of it. It was those simple combinations of what a really strong, strapping swordsman would be. Because I also liked Robin Hood and the entire Ranger concept, but I like the idea that
Let's go kill some
Robin
shit.
Hood needs a plan. Like you got to set your merry men up. You got to have somebody swinging on a rope. Like there's a lot involved to being Robin Hood.
No, thank you.
Not for He-Man. Not,
Smash.
It was a
It's the
little
Hulk
of
thing.
the Hulk smash that maybe he learned some chivalry along the way, and it goes back to that Excalibur knighthood sort of thing. So that was my inspo for Draville.
I'm actually really glad to learn that there's a little bit more depth to Draville's inspiration, just because.
Well, because we always joke he's just a meat shield.
Well, I've seen Gallivant, and every time we're talking about Draville, I just have the Jackass in a Can song running through my head.
Which we need
My God.
But there's actually a little bit more to it than
Okay,
that.
in the Battle of Asada Bay, what is Draville known for best?
Oh, God.
Almost drowning.
Jumping off of a
Jumping
boat
off
in
of a
armor?
boat in armor into the water. Why? Because the guy that needed to be killed was over there, and that was the fastest way to get there.
And Adrian Nori looking like, which one of us has to go after his dumbass?
And this was an extremely low
I know.
level,
And it was just another dude.
but it
Don't
also
let me
helped
keep
for the
saving
fact that I DM'd while I played that
Yeah.
character.
Yes.
I wasn't going to be deep in the conversations or the planning. I couldn't be because I was on the other side. And what he got to play a lot of was a high roll hammer meat shield.
Yeah.
And it worked out very well, and I'm glad that he's got more depth.
It is, and that is exactly
being
it. It
a
is a lot
jackass
easier to
McCann.
play a fighter, just a base fighter, when you're trying to DM as well.
Absolutely, because I had 3 rolls that really mattered. I knew what wasn't going to hit me and probably when I needed to be more strategic with the team. But it was, it was kind of all of that. It's just the guy that goes forward.
Well,
And it allows you to not have to take on a role that is, when you're the DM, that's going to be maybe overly influencing the path of the characters.
A bard, like the guy at the face that's negotiating.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to stand back here, and if somebody does something, okay, hit him with something big. That's my turn now back to the table, and that's kind of what it was from that seat. But those were my inspirations for Draville, Excalibur. Man, and
Oh, yeah,
everybody.
And now
you guys
Tori's
should see
story.
you should see Katie.
So you said the word baby earlier.
Yes.
So
Oh, Nori's my baby.
okay, all right. I didn't
Nori's
know
my
if you were going
baby.
here first.
Okay, and I want you to share Nori's inspo. But
You want Burry first.
I want Burry.
Okay,
That's
so
why I
Burry
asked.
was my first one, and Burry's a gnome.
I have an idea about Burry. I'm fairly certain
she's Bilbo Baggins.
That's what I
Are
was
you
just going to
fucking
say.
kidding
That
me?
she is Bilbo.
She's my
Yes.
burglar.
Okay, that's what
She
I
was
thought.
straight up my burglar.
Yes,
Wait,
that's right. We did discuss that over.
it's
our...
on my thing on the website.
Yes, and
On my little.
Of course it is. We know all of this stuff. I check it daily.
well, this came about in our conversation about remembering when you and I met over The Hobbit.
Over the Hobbit. No, so Burry was straight out Bilbo Baggins.
Yes.
Like there was nobody else involved at all. That one was a direct, come here.
Down to the toe hair.
Nah, she was a gnome, not a halfling. I did step away. And I said to halfling, I did not say hobbit.
There are no hobbits in D&D. Sure, right. Uh-huh. Okay.
Halfling. So
Say
that was
whatever
that.
you want.
Nori.
TSR.
Tanis of the Shire.
Nori was my favorite two-handed fighter.
Yes.
And
All right, so share with
you,
everybody.
Thank you, R.A. Salvatore.
Yes.
Because Drist was her, obviously I changed it because she's not a ranger.
She is not dressed.
No, but he was the base.
Mm-hmm.
He was proof that you could make a drow a good one, because back then they were evil. It was
Yeah, until
It
he
was-
wrote those books,
Evil, evil, evil.
Orcs, ogres, goblins, drow.
so that was that, and then she's a little bit of Han Solo.
Right?
Oh yeah,
That
I
rogue.
can see that.
She's a little bit of Han Solo, but very angry. That was the thing. Was she was so angry at everything.
Yeah.
But that came from me, not anywhere else. That was me.
That was D&D therapy.
Again, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Arcadia, though, is that you've been playing Nori at different levels, forms, and timelines for 3 decades now. How close does she hold with Driss in this iteration?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, only that she's a two-handed fighter.
Right, because the ranger
And
thing
she's
throws
Drow.
his entire path is ranger,
Ranger. And
right.
To be fair, other than race and being good, wasn't a ton of Drist in there.
No.
Idri for a bit stole more of that with Gwen. Mm-hmm.
I didn't touch it.
Well, and even the way that Gibbs got played early with the two-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and here's the thing: Gibbs was Beastmaster.
Yes.
That was because he had he had the ferrets.
Talk about
Yeah.
movies
Yep, he
you
was
haven't thought
Beastmaster.
about, but you love.
Yep,
Right.
he was Beastmaster. That is where that druid came from.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing just about every one of us when we went around here when we got to
Movies and
inspo.
books. Yeah.
And
And
movies
TV
based on them.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a real quick break?
All right.
That's fantastic. I would love people to come out and tell us, because I think you're just going to hear similar stories from these iconic characters.
Right, and then you branch out, and it's even fucking better. It's like fanfic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is. It's
fanfic.
its own version of fanfic.
It
Absolutely.
really is. Very cool. Let's take a break. And when we come back to Finding a Tori, we're going to kind of drill down into one of those inspiration channels, talk a bit about books with the team here. And we will be right back, folks. This episode of Finding a Tori is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. The Finding a Tori podcast is looking for guests for our upcoming episodes. Are you or someone you know passionate about the TTRPG community and have a story to share? If so, contact us on our socials or reach out at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And now back to your program. And we're back. Welcome back. And we're back after a break of being back.
In case you didn't know,
We're back.
Hello.
in case you couldn't tell.
Jeez, guys, I think they get it. Calm down. All right. We just had a very inspirational conversation regarding the loopiness of segment 2. But no, had a good conversation on what, at least around the table, inspired us to create our first D&D
I
characters.
want to hear more stories from people.
I was going to say, so everybody's got one of
Please,
those.
send
to
them.
share
Put them
with
on our
us.
They're
socials.
so awesome.
And
because,
thank you to the people who've been active on our socials lately.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that are enjoying our
Everything.
content and are responding to us. If you care to share your address, we'd care to share a sticker with you. But moving forward, we're going to drill down into what we found was probably our most ubiquitous point of inspiration. I think that the entire fantasy TTRPG genre owes.
Easy for you to say.
I was going to say that's a
He
lot.
got it out. Like
He did.
He did.
That was some flots, monsieur. One per episode, I swear. So,
Hey, Malcolm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been so long.
I know.
We've shed the absolutely.
I had to throw it in there at least. Sorry,
Feels
I
better
derailed
now.
you.
No. Feels better now. It's like a good stretch there. Let's talk books. Arcadia, you had an in-depth thought about this earlier, and I think that there were some books that were in an article that you were reading about. And after being in there for a couple of minutes, you just kind of turn around and you're like, I want to read all of them. But we did note that there were some that were not on there. So you did a little bit of look into these books that make
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I recently picked up, if people haven't seen it yet, there is an issue, a special edition of Time magazine out there, and it is the 100 must-read fantasy books. And it has some wonderful authors and wonderful books that I have read quite a few of, but many I have not. And I was looking through it just to sort of see what did they come up with. And
Stock photo. I've used it.
what I liked about it is that it made me think about the fact that, at least in our childhood, a lot of our inspiration
Yes.
came from fantasy books that were not precursors to a TTRPG game,
Right.
but instead were created because of people playing TTRPGs.
Right. There were the stories within the game sphere, and the people and the places that came out of those were sort of our mana for inspiration when I was a kid.
Right.
Or else we're
Now,
gonna sit there and read it the
I
whole
could.
goddamn
I'm
time.
sitting there looking at that Time magazine
I know,
issue
I'm
with
like,
just drippy
I
fangs.
should have held on to it
Yeah,
till
you
after
really
the
should have,
episode.
because I was just like, I'm going to sit here and read this all.
Tori was so slick. She's like, "Is that it right there? Okay, you're busy now. All right."
Rogue.
But so what I wanted to bring to the table as a conversation is, what are your favorite, and maybe I should make you say what is, not are, what is your favorite
Ooh, oh no.
TTRPG inspired book or story?
Oh.
So you have to pick.
So the chicken having come before the egg, it
So-
has to be a game
Yes.
that inspires a book and not the vice versa.
Exactly.
So a game that
It,
inspires.
it narrows the field because we have a
Oh.
lot of fantasy.
So yeah, like all of
I know
yes,
where that's
everything.
going.
Okay. I imagine no. And here's why I want my hands on the book is because I imagine it creates those things like the top 100 songs of all time where you can sit in a room with 8 people and argue for 36 hours.
Yeah.
about what should be on
About
the
which
list.
should be on the list and what they left out.
Yeah.
I do have
the
some
opinions are
commentary about
formulated.
what's not on the list.
Jess, thoughts before
And
you
it's going to be a lot of the
explode.
books we talk about today.
So books that, okay, well, that's easy because I can drill down on the Forgotten Realms.
All right, so Tori, Forgotten
Realms.
Okay, but the question I'm going to follow up, why and which book?
Okay. So I would say it's,
This is going to be hard. There's a lot of them.
I know.
This would be like
But for
asking me to choose a
inspiration-
Mercedes Lackey book.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it would be Magic's Price on that one because that was the first one I read and that's the one that
So good.
hooked. Anyways, I'm thinking probably Homeland.
Okay.
It's tough not to be Homeland.
It's tough not to be Homeland because that was the one that made Drist like less one-trick pony.
right.
You knew he had this background. The background came up, but it was never as in your face as when he did the second trilogy for that.
right.
And it was Homeland.
So other than not a one-trick pony, what else? Like why?
It showed life in the Underdark.
Okay.
So it opened up a window to a different part of the world. Mm-hmm. And it also made me think, how can we make them a good people? Because this is, you can't have a race that's just
Right, like that. Just the race. Is
right.
Just evil.
It's so
Right.
it was like, what if we changed the story and dressed like they explained to him, which was the part where it was like, okay, I can make her make sense.
It was a lot less about, correct me if I'm wrong here on this book, but that's what took him from being a lot of action narrative in the story. You see, Faint's left it, and that was the Drist interaction that you got, and that's what kind of fleshed him out.
Yep.
That
Gave him that
book.
backstory, and it made him.
He was stickier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have not done any research on this follow-up question, but to your statement of how do we make them not just evil? We shouldn't have a race that is evil. Do we think, how much do we think the fact that D&D has now moved into a world in which we have really shied away from the concept that you have good or evil based on race, that it sort of starts with Drist opening that door?
Yes, and actually, and at the end of the run with Drist, there's another set, and it's one of the Baners. It's oh god, the wizard. Do you guys remember the wizard Banner? He's the head.
Not that I remember.
Okay,
Nope.
He had a daughter. Daughter's not a priestess. Daughter is a mage. Daughter goes to the surface and meets all sorts of good people.
Okay.
And there's like,
It's not Jarxel. It's
no, but Jaraxel is one of them, but no.
right. It's not the wizard.
And Elminster keeps coming to my mind.
I know,
and I was like,
that's
it's
my problem.
not
I'm
that
stuck on
wizard.
Elminster too.
It's not that wizard. Anyways, but that came out probably late 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it started branching.
Yeah.
But it really all started with Dressed. It was like, how do you make a character of an evil race not evil?
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So
I love it.
Great book.
All right. Any thoughts, Jess?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a very limited repertoire for this particular topic.
I know.
I've got, like I was just flipping through this magazine with the 100 must-read fantasy books, and I've read a lot of these. But if we are talking specifically
TTRPG-inspired.
TTRPG-inspired ones, I am very new to the TTRPG world, and the only ones that I've started reading some of the Forgotten Realms ones now because I had them recommended to me by my table, and yeah,
Right.
so I'm reading them now. But
So do you
They
have a
weren't-
favorite in that world?
no, none of those are my favorite.
Well, not your favorite book, but like in that world. Oh, you've
Those
got a
aren't-
different one. Okay.
Those
okay.
aren't my first
I'm intrigued.
TTRPG inspired books. I just didn't realize it until like 2 decades later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Dragonlance.
Oh, yeah.
I read those in high school because of the name dragon in the title.
Of course.
I didn't know what they were at the time. I didn't realize that until I found out later, learning that Arcadia has played with like the original Raistlin. Like, holy shit. I hadn't realized, like, I hadn't had that connection before, that those books started as a D&D campaign. I did not know that when I read them. But
Elminster was a playable character.
Yep.
but I don't have a favorite one of that particular series, but that's the only, like, I guess that stuck with me a bit more because one of the main characters was a wizard. Now, granted, he was kind of an asshole.
Is
And it was-
Raistlin your favorite?
It's a weird...
Because he's not a good
he's
character,
not. Like,
and you tend to like the good
I
character.
do tend
The
to
robe
like
is
the
red.
good characters.
Right,
yes.
the robe is red.
So I didn't love anybody in that particular series, so I guess I would say I liked Raistlin the best.
Okay.
Because like none of them really like drew me as like that's my favorite character for sure. And the fact that he was the magic user did
There it
in
is.
that direction, just because
Wizard.
I do like my wizards, but he was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he's not good.
No, he's not.
definitely not a
He's
good character.
absolutely not
So,
good.
I wouldn't put him on my list of like, favorite characters in general, for example. But of that series, like, all right, he was also more interesting.
Yeah.
In part for that
His
reason.
character is very interesting.
because
He's complicated.
you
he's
never know what the
complicated.
fuck he's gonna do.
Right.
He's so complicated.
And it's always like self-serving in some way, but like what exactly that thing's gonna, like, you can trust him to do what's best for number one. That's
Right.
for sure.
With,
Right.
with
But-
hourglass eyes, you kind
Right.
of got to imagine he's playing the long game.
Oh, yeah. But it's just like what that actual action is. Like,
Sure.
is he going to betray his friends?
Right.
Like, he's got
Yes,
a party that he
he
travels.
is.
It's
Yes,
al-
he is.
It's
And they-
almost Loki-ish in
Right.
a sort
That's-
of a.
I was
Yeah.
going
Yes,
to say
that's a
that
really
actually. Like,
good-
Where it's not mischief. Maybe I'm mischaracterized, but the randomness. I don't know what he's going to do.
yeah, and like it does actually kind of remind me of Loki in a bit.
The
in that, like,
self-serving.
the Thor,
yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, when Thor finally wises up, just like, yeah, we've got this cycle where like I trust you,
Right.
you betray me,
Right.
I trust you, you betray me. This time I'm not falling for that. Come join me when you figure out a way
Right.
out of this like electric trap thing.
Just
I've put you in.
patronizes him. Oh, Loki. Here we are again. It was a great scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
love that.
I knew you were gonna do that. Yeah,
Right.
It's like
right.
I imagine
round and
that
round we go. He said.
after a while, I imagine it kind of becomes old hat. It's like, yeah, Raistlin's gonna betray us again. It's fine. It's a thing.
You could start planning for it at some point, but he's a great character.
Yeah, he is.
Awesome character. Great book too.
All right.
Me,
Malcolm, your
okay,
turn.
so I have
Oh,
to,
he has the book out.
but I have to
know.
speak on a couple of other people because Sojourn.
Yes.
It would have been or Homeland. Yeah, were there for me, and then Crystal Shard is really up there.
Oh,
from
Crystal
there.
Shard.
Well,
Like,
you,
to
that
me-
started it.
Right. That was
That started it.
That
That
was
was,
where I got hooked at. But also, if I pay thee not in gold, Mercedes Lackey,
Yes.
Piers Anthony. That was when I was young. Arcadia lent those books, and that was the one that just really stuck with me. It was very cool. But my favorite one is the one that I absolutely love this story. Anytime I get to talk about The Night of the Black Rose, a Ravenloft book, which is not a setting that I played in a whole lot.
We haven't done Ravenloft.
Not a ton.
I think everybody has played The Curse of Strahd 6 different ways, and I have I don't really have an interest in it, but it is in the fabled world of Kryn. It's the story of Lord Soth, who the fallen knight, and the choices that he makes, and the betrayal that he does, and the punishment that he receives, and then almost a failed doomed redemption story where he's not anywhere near an anti-hero. He's an absolute villain. But you see him in different books in different parts of the Forgotten Realms in Dragonlance, but he has an interaction in Castle Ravenloft, and it's Soth, who's my favorite character of all time in the world, up against Strahd. You literally have a Death Knight versus a vampire, and if you want to get my cackles up, that's like, yeah, dude. It was a really good read. The author,
it's a good matchup, the two of them against each other.
It really is, and it kind of brings you out of Kryn into this other world with other rules, and the author, once again, James Lauder, who's more famous than we can give him clout for, I believe University of Illinois professor now. Just absolutely beautifully written book, and it is kind of where I fell in love with the darker side of that high fantasy role playing scene.
So I like that you talk about the darker side of, because something that occurred to me while Jess was talking is one of the things that was really neat about these fantasy books and thinking of within Dragonlance and Raceland and all of that. And I mean, I don't know. I think of before that you have Tolkien, and you have your heroes and you have your bad guys. And not that it's totally blurred, but I feel like Dragonlance started to blur that. You didn't just completely have
all just good.
The epic, hero.
Right. You had more relatable characters. In almost every group there was going to be negs on the character sheet for people and challenges that they went through. It wasn't the straight line heroic every time, and it gave us different veins and different lights to see things in. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that was the first book first fantasy book that I'd read that was like that, where like some of the characters, are they going to do the right thing?
Like they are the heroes, maybe, but they're not necessarily heroes.
Necessarily good. No.
I just realized, I'm sure people saw the expression on my face. I just realized that I switched, with Nori, I switched drow characters. Jar Axel. Jar Axel.
While you were thinking about
Jar Axel. That was Sojourn.
One of the literary characters that reminded me more of Nori and I knew it was on the same chassis, but if you looked at how
she
Nori was played,
more like Jar Axel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Hey, absolutely. They're coming back.
We broke the dam, and here come the absolutely's.
All right. Who do we have left on the? Has everyone shared their books?
Yeah, I think so.
That was wonderful. I want other people's books.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I didn't share mine.
Well, that's what I just asked.
I know. I was sort of intrigued to see if you guys figured that out.
Go. Go.
All right. Well, mine have already been done, to be fair. I will, hands down, I've done Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms, and I'm sorry, I'm keeping it to those two. But from our childhood, that's pretty much where it stems. And it's Dragonlance. And the piece of that really is that those first 4, Autumn, Twilight, and all of that, those are the books of my childhood. Between those and Tolkien, every time we went on a car drive, and my parents never flew anywhere, we had family far across the country, we would drive for days on end to go visit people. Those books were on in the car. And so,
unless it was something else.
Well, that was when I was older. But you know, over and
Clan
over.
of the Cape Bear, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on fantasy.
Sorry.
And not go there.
He said
Tori's just
driving.
clocking in some therapy over
Right?
there.
Yeah. We have whole stories about that. But those books, I listened to them unabridged. I don't know how many times. You know, to the point where I could just quote them. And so it almost gets to the point where I don't know necessarily that it was, oh, I love this book because of XYZ. It is that those stories were such a part of my childhood that I love them just for that and that alone. Almost, it's a bizarre.
It's an excellent answer. It's just not the right one. You
Oh,
got to
yeah,
pick a
yeah,
book.
yeah.
We picked book. Pick book.
A book.
A book.
You said to pick
All
a
right.
book.
Abe
You
Lincoln?
made us do it.
Autumn Twilight.
Okay.
Okay. Very cool.
There we go. Just because it's the start of it all.
Yep.
It introduces everybody.
Oh man, it's such.
And it just, and I will say, like watching the cartoon.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God, it's awful.
They did like a Windows 2000 version. You've got some big names reading in this. Like,
Oh yeah, like good voice, like major actors voice
Major
acting it.
But
Or-
shitty ass
Oh
animation.
God! No, the animation's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's not horrible.
I the look on Malcolm's face says, yeah, it is.
Okay, it's not great.
So if you really like the droids from Phantom Menace scenes, you're
Oh,
gonna love
God,
this,
yeah.
dude. Yeah,
But-
just Windows layer. They did a Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, I mean,
think?
there's a
like there were big names like.
Was he
as-
Raceland?
no. Who was Raceland?
Oh gosh.
I'll have to look. It
Okay,
up.
that's
anyway.
another rabbit hole.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can't go
yeah,
there.
another rabbit hole. But no, it was funny to sit down and watch because it was like nostalgic, but it was like, oh God, this is horrible.
But the book really was like that's how I got introduced like to an adventuring party.
Right. It
You know what I
just
mean?
really laid out what
Sure.
the game is. And from the adventuring party to how do they end up being an adventuring party to the fact that they've got negs and they're
Same thing with
not
Crystal
you know,
Shard.
the
It just
perfect
shows
good
that-
heroes. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
so.
3. I am on a roll. Luckily, I'm going to moderate this. We're anything else on books except for we want other people's books?
I don't want to draw us out too long, but I would, I'm just going to say like a quick round robin. Tell me your favorite world that you would love to see made into a TTRPG that isn't.
My problem is I don't know if it is or has been, but assuming that it's not. I'm not ready. I'm just setting parameters. I don't have an answer here. Damn it.
Oh, I thought this would be an easy one.
Oh, Valdemar. But they have, they do have some sort of something, but
It's not.
It's not official.
It's not official.
Nope.
It's not recognized by.
it is not. It is-
Mercedes Lackey.
Nope. But Valdemar.
Yep. I'm putting Jess on the spot.
Does it have to be like another?
No,
world, like
no.
fantasy
And
world?
any world, any world that is one of your favorite storybook worlds that you would love to see, that you can see it making a good TTRPG.
Fuck, I fucked up. Neverwhere.
Okay, Neverwhere.
Yeah.
For me, it probably would have to be this actually came up in our book club this last month. Books that I read and just really stuck with me from when I was, I read these when I was like in late elementary school, middle school, and all of the heroes were like readers and nerds, and it was great. Like every single one of them, it wasn't just like one nerd friend. It was Diane Duane's Young Wizards series, just because the magic, like anybody can technically be a wizard if they want to be. Like you have to truly want to be, but you can come from anywhere in our world. You can come from a different planet. They're, they go out into space. There are aliens, all kinds of stuff. So you get everything from like, the tree can be a wizard. The whale can be a wizard. Like you can be whatever species you want and be a wizard.
And we have learned that Jess needs to be a wizard.
Yes, this is true. I do need to be a wizard. But like basically, this would be a game where everyone's a wizard. There literally
Which
is
would
no
make
other
it,
class.
that would be interesting.
But like
I don't
everybody
wanna.
has their own specialty.
Tori does not want to.
Well, everybody has their own specialty, and that specialty
roguey wizard
can be.
It's an arcane
rogue-related-
trickster, and
I
I
know.
played one.
I know.
Well, like you could use magic to sneak or
Yeah.
have combat or something. You know, I mean, you
Sure.
can do whatever you want with it. You can kind of make other classes with that because everybody has their own specialities. So
I'm going to move us on.
anyway,
Malcolm?
yes.
Oh, talk some more.
Nope.
Shit.
All right.
Okay,
You got it?
I've got a 1 and a 1A. First of all, and I know that there's already an official out there for it, but I would want to just create my own is out there.
Because you homebrew.
Out there in the black. All you need is a ship and a crew and a job.
Oh no.
Space Western. Always wanted to do that, but otherwise, and I don't know if there is one out there, Discworld would be very fun.
Discworld.
Yes, Discworld.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm sure I always assume that something's out there and quasi-official, but I like to homebrew too much. I probably want
Yeah.
You tweak
to
it.
play a little bit.
Mine is easy and grateful that Tori changed her answer, so we have different ones.
So
Valdemar by
I knew that was
the world created by
want
Mercedes
a
Lackey.
companion, damn it.
Right? I mean, okay, I was talking with
That works for my game too.
I was talking with Malcolm about think about the characters in that. You've got the Shinnin, you've got Heralds, you've got Mercs, you've got the Hawk brothers. Oh my god, that world would be so cool.
And I did a little talk to me Google, and Reddit's going to tell you that there's versions of it out there, and then it's going to tell you that they're not official. And but I think anybody that has a fandom that they like, a world that they like that much, has at least that they play
Attempted
or like
something.
the game, has mentally approached the exercise of, hey,
How do we adapt this?
Right, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for sharing, you guys, your favorite literature series with
Thanks
us.
for bringing that out.
I really, really, really hope that listeners will
Give us reading material.
answer these questions too. Yeah, give us reading material.
Hear us, and we'll shout you out. We're all over the socials. You can find us at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. Guys, I'm so glad we're back. We're going to go ahead and say goodbye, and we will talk to you soon on Finding a Toria. Anything that I'm missing?
No.
Boy, I have not. This cold close just feels...
Check out our Patreon.
There is a Patreon.
Click the button.
I was going to
Touch
say,
the button.
well, this won't be. This is this week, isn't it? Yeah, it's this week.
You're like...
They get to hear headphones if they're on Patreon.
Oh, that's
we
fantastic. I'm so
have
glad
silly,
that's
goofy
going
stuff
out.
behind the wall.
Lovely. All right,
Bloopers.
guys, have a very best week. We'll see you next week on Finding a Toria.
Bye.
Bye.